Bang bang badang ding dang diggy diggy digging bang badang ding ding pool. Bang badang ding dang diggy diggy digging bang badang ding ding yes, black to black, 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 black to black. Look, there's no need to worry and no need to fret. If you think we was finished, we ain't done yet. This is the platform where you can get informative topic with real intellect. Play talk good manners, raise the antennas. Andre and Karen, that's host divide. Facebook, Spotify and Instagram. You could also catch me on the YouTube live with positive content back to back. I'm inviting all people to black to black. Yes, no be and power is black to black. And everybody invited. So share it and like it. But we all are united and black to black. Yes, no be and power is black to black. And everybody invited. So share it and like it. Cause we all are united and black to black. Yes. This is your immortal, inviting each and everyone to log on to all streaming platforms to Black with your host, Andre and Karen. So subscribe, share, like and comment, and come along. Let me enjoy the vibes. Diggy diggy, diggy diggy diggy, black to black, daga daga, black to black, black to black.
Greetings, Black to Black.
Greetings, Will. Welcome, Black. Welcome, Black. Welcome, Black.
Welcome, Black. So, as always, see the title tonight. We missed for a little 2 weeks because we was planning for the market. You know, the market was well attended.
Thanks to everybody who came out to IA, the Black Marketplace last Saturday. Right? Thanks to all the vendors. Yeah.
And everybody who supported as well.
So, you know, we here.
Yeah.
What is this in?
I don't know.
Goodness. Right? Greetings. Miss Abeo Jackson.
Yes.
I wouldn't add too much more to that. Right? The first thing I wanted is, who is Abeo Jackson? And then I would say why I asked it like that.
Okay, fair. Greetings, everyone. Greetings to you both. Thank you for having me. Who is Abeo Jackson? First off, Abeo Jackson is a 6th generation American from the lineage of Amphi and Bashana Jackson. And it is always important for me to introduce myself as such because there is absolutely nothing that I can do or will do or have done that I do without standing on the shoulders of my ancestors.
Oh, sure.
So, you know, it's always very important for me to start it like that and open the portal.
Right.
Apart from that, Abeo Jackson is a South Gill. You know, born and grew in San Fernando,
Right.
Stringberry, somewhere around Funnel Street, San Fernando.
Right.
My family, an integral to us being American, I've always been deeply rooted in the cultural forms in Trinidad and Tobago. So my uncle is a foundation member of Fonclair. My mother was a foundation member of the Laissez-Faire Dance Company. Under the tutelage and directorship of one of the greatest grand dames of dance to ever do it, Joyce Curtin, who is now transitioned. My mother actually danced with me in her belly, so it was almost predestined that I would be a child of stage. So I've always been involved in culture, pan, dance, whether it's Best Village, Sandfest, Drama Festival, all those things. And of course, you know, you go through the rites of passage, being a child of the 80s, etc. You do the 12 and under, you do all them things, etc. But also having a foot in two worlds. So yes, you grew up in supposedly the hood, but then, of course, you go to a prestige school, all that foolishness that comes with it. But what it did, it gave me access. It gave me access to be able to speak the language of to be able to speak the language of the oppressor, pretty much. To be able to code switch in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So apart from that, being that those things that I just told you is foundational to who I am. And then you add on top of that the first degree in theater from Dickinson College in Pennsylvania. I started in New Orleans, and then Hurricane Katrina happened, so that didn't really work out. So we had to transfer, and then came back home, worked under the mentorship of some of the greats, especially I need to say the names of Gregory Singh and Raymond Chukong, who were both violently taken from us. And they are very much part of my ancestral team as well. And then after that, a decade later, going back out to the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama for the second degree in film, and now I am immersed in cultural studies, which is a lot of what you hear coming through now in how I speak and how I language things. So having the foundation as a practitioner, but always having a certain eye and perceptiveness for the system and looking at it and going, there's something ain't right. This ain't feeling, And now having the language of cultural studies, I always make the joke, but it's actually not a joke, where I say cultural studies is the healing of the nation and it will set us free.
Yes.
Because when people think of cultural studies, they think of it in terms of our creative forms. They think, is the flinging of the skate and thing. And flinging of skate is wonderful. I love a fling skate. But cultural studies actually is the study of power structures and how they operate in a space.
Right.
And how we as the people navigate that and find ways to challenge, suppress, transgress those hegemonies, which is just a fancy word of saying, a fancy terminology for a system of power that operates in the space.
Right.
Much of it, all of it actually inherited, because we are still battling so much of our colonial legacy. We are still very much a plantation society. We are a plantation society. We are ruled by plantocracy and bourgeoisie, etc., etc., etc. We see it in our everyday living.
Right.
So that's, in a nutshell, who I am and where I am mentally. I'm still an actor. I'm still a dancer. I'm still a
Sorry.
testing. We good?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's the same way like when people ask me about feminism versus Jamet, and I say I'm not a feminist, I'm a Jamet, and it's not. If it is, I have to lean into a more Western ideology of what agency for women is. I would say womanist, because that leans into agency, particularly for Black women. And Jamet leaning into agency for women in the Caribbean, particularly Trinbagonian women, particularly Black, working, poor, urban women, etc. So when I think of the word activism, it leans into, and me choosing advocacy over activism, it leans into that kind of thinking. Actively going against the grain, trying to move away from the things that come down through the system. Advocacy is a much broader term that deals with people who use things like art to make a statement, who use things like interventions in communities, etc., in very, very real ways. Again, using a lot of our creative forms. That's a much broader term in terms of advocacy. It doesn't necessarily mean that I ain't go pick up a placard and stand up opposite the embassy, which I have done. But advocacy is more my line is more my ministry than activism. And me choosing that path, in a lot of ways, I didn't choose. In a lot of ways, that's what I come down with. That's what I cross the portal with. I've always been that person.
Before I go any further, when you cross, where you come down with, what do I mean?
So because of the fact that I am as always stumble here because I'm not initiated yet. But I am a devotee, an Ifa Orisha devotee, and there's this idea inside of Ifa that you choose your path and what it is you're supposed to do before you reach. And your walk when you get here is to remember for the rest of your life. You have to remember what it is you chose. And it gets very easy to forget. It's very easy to forget because you get here and again, the world, and I mean, there are parallels in other religious ideologies, I suppose. I think the Christians have something they talk about being of the world, etc., where you get sidetracked by certain things. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Your job when you get here is to remember what you chose to do. There's a reason why you came. And I've always been this person. I've always been the girl getting in trouble for standing up for she friend, and mommy going, yes, but you could have literally just, you could have walked away. But why? But mommy, so I've always been this person. And at the end of the day, if not me, then who?
Yeah.
If not us, then who? And the stakes are even higher now because there's a small human in the mix. A girl.
Okay.
People think I was a problem or dangerous when I was free, single, disengaged, and had no small human attached to me. I'm even worse now because now I have stakes in the game.
Well, I see you moving with your other in your ears. So
yes, these are my Know Your Caribbean. For those of you who know Fiona Compton, she does brilliant work. This is from her line. Yes.
The reason why I asked that is that I would have seen somewhere that you are an Orisha devotee, right? One of the questions I always get being an Orisha devotee myself is, you don't look like a Orisha devotee.
What does look like?
Rude. But I kind of understand the question from the mindset of when we go outside tomorrow morning and see we neighbors going to church, we could tell almost instantly based on the way they dress.
It's true. You're right.
I started in the Orisha tradition in about 2018. And I saw people that I know almost my whole life and never knew because you ain't seen the LKs.
Yes, come on.
You ain't seen them dressed in a certain way. I make it my business. Some part of me must say something, and so that resonates now because just yesterday I done a t-shirt mark African on it. And I'm all right, all right, traffic light. They asked me, so why do I Trinidad and not Trinidad?
Because I'm African.
Yeah. Okay, I know. A few years ago,
what do you mean?
I would answer a certain way. I just tell them, I say, well, Monday morning I could go by a notary and start the process, and I will not be a Trinidadian anymore. But I can't change the fact that it's African. And them simple things tied into. So when you said just now about being an advocate instead of an activist, I think of myself because I try to do that with the t-shirts that
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you know, my little brother come and buy a t-shirt from me last week Saturday and still shocked me. So I love what you're doing. I want to shout out my little brother.
Which
When
one? Yeah, two.
Aaron.
Right.
When he going out and he needs something new, he'll check his brother first.
That's right.
I
Come
really
on.
appreciate that. Right? Because I always just tell people support is action.
Correct.
And it's something we lacking badly. Right?
Badly.
So you have on a red shoes, you wear a red jersey. The only red jersey that could fit him, mark God is black. With a map of Africa. No, I know a few years ago. Now a few years ago he would not take it.
Oh, okay, fair.
But something probably, I'm hoping that something probably clicking.
Yeah.
Right? Because I tell people the reason behind this t-shirt is, and I want to tie that back into where we're going here next, right? The reason I put God is black, but I just leave it to the words and I put the map of Africa. It's because I'm not telling a Caucasian God is black. I'm not telling a Chinese God is black.
Us.
I'm telling us
Come on.
that God is black, right? And
that is beautifully political in all the right ways. And a lot of the times when we think politics, we think of the partisan polarizings in the space, whether it is red or yellow or whatever color, right? But people don't understand that politics is literally the act of living. Every single thing you do is political. How you choose to worship is political. How you choose to love is political. How you choose to raise your children as free human beings, particularly little beautiful black children, how we choose to raise them with a certain sense of power and agency is political in a space that wants to tell them that they are unworthy.
yeah.
Like all of those things are political, and we've been duped by an education system that is invested in weaponizing ignorance. That politics is simply about party affiliation as opposed to how you choose to live your life. So I think it's beautiful that you have a t-shirt that said God is black, because we are the only phenotype on the planet that capes hard for a God that looks nothing like us. And there's something that is purposeful.
Of course.
Because if it is, you can't see the entity, the deity, or whatever it is you choose to
Give
worship
reverence to,
and give reverence to as looking like you. And the other folks and them say in his own image and likeness, you don't look like that.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And
So
my thing with that is the semantics now. Because then they will come back and tell you. So 15, 20 years ago, I was an idiot with this thing.
You're a whomst?
An idiot with this thing.
yeah,
So you see this conversation here?
Yeah. Vicious.
Yeah. Right? I give thanks and no longer. I was telling Karen this week or last week. See Facebook memories.
Yeah, boy.
He's be like, whoa! Yikes! It was a dark time, boy.
Yeah. You know? Because
that's fair. Growth
we
is a
know,
thing.
Of course.
we know image and likeness to mean one thing. But because it's not fitting your narrative of something that you were forced to believe, nobody who is an African in this world, no part of the world that you're living in, is a Christian today by choice.
And when you say things like that, people get very antsy because people like to believe that they like to believe that they have a sense of agency. We like to believe that, but what we don't realize is that we have been brainwashed in a lot of ways.
Right.
When we think about the way we worship, it is so very much tied in terms of how, like for instance, how we raise our children and their self-worth, our self-worth in general.
Yeah.
It is tied to our self-worth. Like, I mean, we could sit here and talk about that ad nauseum for the next 3 hours, but we won't. Just trust me when I say it's tied to yourself. It really is. If you look in the mirror and you don't see something that is worthy of deification, the energy that sits on my head looks like me.
Of course, it has to.
I'm a child of Oya. She looks like me. You understand? She's me. So I walk through the world with a different sense of like when people see me, you know, the Jamaicans will say, "You feel it too enough." I know why enough.
I am.
You're real enough.
I real enough.
Real
And if other people have a problem with that, well, that's the
Yeah,
you.
right. So I had to change this word here, right? And I want to use the word you use for advocate. You add a CY or something at the end.
Advocacy.
Right. So advocacy, especially by us as African people, often meets resistance. How do you keep people hopeful and engaged with the issues?
Well, a lot of the times people feel that resistance always has to be rooted in angst. And yes, there's a time for rage. Yes, it have a time to cuss with people. Yes, it have a time to drag tree line and pelt bottle and flambeau and I mean and play stick and thing. We are the people of Cambule, we are the people of the Jose riots, we are the people of the 1970s revolution, and the list goes on and on and on. So there is a time for that. However, what we sometimes forget is that joy is resistance. Intentional joy and innovation is resistance. The steel band movement is literally the living embodiment of resistance, right? Calypso coming down through the lineage of the griot, the chantuel, etc. And then coming down after Calypso, whether it's rap soul, raga soca, soca, zest, steam, and I'm saying it because the older ones, you know, some of we fuddy-duddy millennials and Gen Xers, there's watch the children thing, I want to turn up we face. when we forget that we were once that age and trying to find ways to transgress a system and talk about our lived experiences in our language and in a way that felt powerful. And that's what they're doing when we think about zest and steam. Could we dissect some of the lyrics and be like, yo, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. Woo, absolutely, because multiple things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
However, a lot of these forms are rooted in us expressing ourselves joyfully, but at the same time, actively pushing back against systems. So I keep people hopeful through the art that I create. You know, a lot of the times you will see me posting things that are rooted in work that I've created, whether it is spoken word, whether it is dance or choreography, whether it is me producing a play or doing creative direction in some way for some project, etc. All of those things, and more so now, like when I first, you know, got that brand spanking new first degree and came back home and felt I was all that, you know, I'm an actor, you know, I'm going to be an actor. And yeah, and I mean, it was rooted in a lot of ego, which is fine. You have to navigate that. But now as I've gotten older, there's very, very rarely any work that I create or any work that I do that doesn't come back home to the ideology and the praxis in which I am currently rooted. Right. Which is, you know, we had to burn it down and build it back. We have to reimagine ourselves. We have to and that's what our ancestors did. Yeah. They sat in that power of imagining a new way. So when I see young creatives or even creatives my age talking about, well, that's the way it is and the system ain't changing anytime soon, I actually saw a really brilliant young filmmaker making a comment. These days I tend to look on social media. I just read things people say and keep scrolling. Sometimes I'm just like, yo, why? When I tell you this young woman is absolutely brilliant. She's fantastic. She has created some of the most like transcendent work of the last couple of years. And I saw her post on social media a few days ago. There's like this banal conversation happening right about now about if poor people deserve to make children.
Oh, that one passed my boy.
Yeah.
Say that again, please.
If poor people deserve to make children.
I was just reading that, I know.
Right? And what people don't realize is when we say poor people in this country, a lot of the times it's code language
for black people
and dog whistle for black people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's not to say that there isn't a class conversation there that goes across the board. But because of the traumatized space that we live in, a lot of the times when we say things like that, there's a particular image that comes to mind. I I waited a very long time to have a small human,
Hmm.
would I tell anybody else? Like, people ask me, how are you enjoying motherhood? And I'm like, motherhood is not fun. My small human is fantastic. She's amazing. Motherhood and the systems surrounding motherhood, the support systems, garbage.
Yeah.
Absolute garbage. So I understand why, like, and it has to also do with like support systems. A lot of people, and I have community.
Mhm.
So when I think about the fact that I have community and I am still flailing, what about the people who don't have community?
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
one. Two, this place is expensive as fuck for no reason whatsoever.
Yo,
Apart from putting
speak on
money
it.
in the bourgeoisie pockets.
Yes.
Boy.
That's it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It is children are expensive.
Mhm.
They are expensive. So I completely understand when
The
you
new
know, you want to
generation
give the
say no.
cautionary tale of like all my little young, particularly women friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, do not have children anytime soon.
Take your time.
Do not do it.
Mhm.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. I mean, if you do, cool, fine.
Yeah.
But do not do it. Travel, see the world, get a million degrees or whatever. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. But take time, because this place we are living in right about now is insane. The world we are living in is insane in terms of we're not doing enough to make sure that we leave a better space for the generation coming.
Mhm.
That's the first thing. But this idea that people who are of a particular demographic, whether we're talking across racial lines or class lines, don't deserve to have their lineage continued,
Mhm.
that's eugenics. For those of you who don't know what eugenics is, right? So eugenics is this idea that there's a superior race and that there are some people who don't deserve to exist because they are genetically flawed. It was one of the foundations inside of like Nazi ideology. Nazi ideology, which was actually based on Jim Crow ideology. It's always been, America has always been the problem. It's always been, and colonialism has always been the problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this idea that we're not supposed to continue our lineage because of the fact that we are at the mercy of a brutal system is insane. But we have creatives out here who've bought into it and feel as though, well, we can't change it. So, and I saw this fabulous young woman saying this thing online, and I was just like, yeah, but you don't even realize that if the thing had to change, you had to be inside the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
Because you have the tools. You have the eye, you have the lens, you can help control narrative. You like and that's how the system has neutralized our power, has taken it away from us. Because Trinidad and Tobago has a wealth of talent. We have no shortage of creatives.
For sure.
And every revolution, the world over, ever, have two things inside it that you must find it. One, creatives. Is the reason why a lot of our most famous pop culture forms come out of revolutionary movements.
Yes.
Calypso, pan, soca, dance hall, new fashion, all them things, right? And the other thing is young people. A revolution cannot sustain without young people. And it's the reason why our system is so invested in making sure that all we are giving children, all we are equipping children to do by our education system is pass jackass exams.
To be hamsters in the rat race.
That's it. That's it. So, yeah.
So
okay, I'm done. Sorry.
You say a lot there.
Listen, I loving this. I don't know what to say.
Times like these,
yeah.
I understand why on some programs, yes, you see people so. Because I want to revisit something you're saying, right? So much things is tied together.
Yeah.
And we treat it separately. So we treat, the first thing for me is our religious beliefs. I will always say I am the first, I like to look at the camera when I'm saying this, I'm the first person to say, I defend in your right to be whatever religion you choose.
Come on.
Right? I would stand up for your right for that.
Come on.
But I am also the one to tell you that the religion you follow in today didn't originate where you're from.
Come on. But they will twist themselves into a pretzel to try to find Christianity rooted in Africa.
No, I
which
tell
is
them-
not to say that there weren't elements of it.
Yeah.
There,
We know they
etc.
take part side.
Yeah.
Right? But Christianity is one of the youngest religions in the world.
It
Period.
Baby.
Point blank, period.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the youngest. The cosmologies that we came here with from the West African side of the continent
Mm-hmm.
have these are religions, and not even religions. They can't even be
Ways of
called
life.
religions. They are ways of living
Yeah.
that existed
millennia.
centuries, millennia before.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does it stay static? No, because syncretism is like a whole thing. Like, okay, so it came here and other people come and everything rub up against each other and it get nice and juicy. So you get the Shelter Baptist by so even in terms of the supposed continuous pagan religions, because we's pagan.
Mm-hmm.
We fall under the pagan
Yeah.
heading,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
But even things like Hinduism, etc., the version that would be practiced here would not necessarily be the version that you would find in the motherland.
Mhm.
It's different because it came here and it had to adapt
Yeah.
to the space. It had
And
to
it had
adapt to the
to
space.
it had to live off our memory without
Correct.
somebody to coach you.
Correct.
So that's why for me, talking to some of we elders in the Orisha tradition in Trinidad, like we ancestral memory here real strong, boy, because the way Orisha was preserved in Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
It lives in your body. It lives in your body.
When these people go after being told all kind of thing here and they go to Nigeria or Nigerians come here, I've heard Nigerians say that here, like
How?
how a song I remember Baba Avery Amon telling me they went to Nigeria and was singing a song and the people asking them, how you know that? They probably have no contact with us here.
Yeah, how? Because it's memory.
Yes.
Ancestral
Genetic.
memory is a very
Genetic.
serious
They
thing.
call Ashwa Kwesi all kind of names when he was carrying tours to Egypt, which he still does,
Mm-hmm.
and telling people that, say, sometimes your child born knowing thing that
Correct.
you
It
want to
just
leave.
lives
And
in your body.
it is in our genes, in our genetics, and the scientists telling us now, the same thing the black scholars who was talking to only Sheldon Mendoza here and Mortel, they could tell you how much of them DVDs we watch when you watch them, them lectures long time. 5 people in the room.
Yeah.
So because only 5 people in the room, it have no value. But the same thing them was saying,
Now they're saying it.
Correct.
science
Yeah.
saying it today, and now people taking it in and say genetics real. I always tell Hillary teacher and them like, I watching small man walk.
Same walk.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
that is not mimicking.
They're
No.
correct.
That's
There are things that
literally
are
from your
energetic.
genes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are things
You
that are
know?
energetic.
Well, as a father, I can tell you that. I got 4 children.
Right.
And 3 of my boys is walk just like my father.
Like your father.
Really?
I walk
see
like
it.
him too.
I see it
I
for
try to do
myself.
it, but
I'm only now, I mean, these are things that in theory I've always known and strongly believed,
yeah.
but now I see it
Mm-hmm.
with Smalls. Like, I mean, she looks exactly like her daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally just room and board for 40 weeks. She came
That's
out
all right. It got changed.
exactly like her daddy.
It got changed. Don't
However,
worry.
in terms of her
Behavior.
personality, there are certain things she does, and then I go, oh, there it is.
There it is. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I get it. I get it now. I get it now. Yeah, I really get it now.
So you mentioned earlier about your heritage is a 6th generation,
Yes.
right? And speaking on the American heritage, how does that tie? How you tie history to that and our lives today, and what is being done to preserve it?
The American story is, sometimes I don't like using the word resilience because resilience is a word that has been weaponized. People feel just because you're resilient, you should be resilient for the rest of your life. And so, I want rest.
You want to
I
relax.
want ease.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to be in a
reason.
state of resistance forever.
Yeah.
You want to eventually get to a point of rest and ease. However, the American people were, it's literally the story of enslaved peoples who escaped, pick up themselves, left, lived as maroons off the Chesapeake Bay till they managed to get to the British ships, etc., to offer themselves, because the caveat was, if you fight for us on our side, we will give you lands in the New World, etc., etc. But these people risked their lives. They risked their lives, they risked their families, and they came here to a space that was unfamiliar, a space that you really feel the British get them the best lands ever. No.
They didn't.
No. One of the places they get was literally called hard bargain, because of the fact that the land was so unyielding.
Yeah.
And they had to carve a whole existence from nothing. You understand? They had to imagine a whole new way of living in this space. They reach, they carve a whole new way of living. They make friends with the indigenous people who was in the space. You understand? And I think there's so many lessons in terms of what we would have done then. And so many of our American cousins, brothers, sisters have been robbed of the history and the story, unless you have come from a family who leans into that idea of passing down stories through oral tradition, the way my family does, right? There are a lot of people who don't realize that they're American, but they only just come into the realization. And when they come to the realization, they don't know the story, they don't know the history, because they're not teaching it in schools. And if they are passing, they're teaching it in passing. I think it's now being kind, like they're now trying to inculcate it in a kind of a way, but they're doing it in passing, as well as newsflash, in case you all don't know, and I've been raising and sounding this alarm for like the last year or so. So I do something every year with the Emancipation Support Committee where we host the National African History Quiz, right? And a lot of these students are coming in and letting us know point blank period they're not doing history in school, particularly the government schools.
They're not.
They are not teaching history. They're doing something called social studies.
Yes.
Social studies is like, you know how you have those books called So and So for Dummies kind of thing? A lot of the brand of social studies that they're getting is just lip service. And you are coming, you have couple generations have come out, and it's purposeful, have come out into a space with no grounding in who they are. All they know how to do is take instruction. And as you say, be on that hamster wheel. Right? So they've been robbed of their legacy. Passing down history is legacy thing. It's empowerment.
Of course.
But they're not going to teach you how to transgress the system, how to deconstruct the system, how to overcome the system.
No.
And if we were to do things like history and civics and all them things, we would empower people. So for me, it's about making sure that as many people as I can, I sing the story of my ancestors. I telling the American story over and over and over again. You know how many people have come up to me and say, I realize my family is American, where I could find out more history, where I could go and read, where my family last name is Cooper or Elliott or whatever it is, and I never realized, and reading this, knowing does something to you in terms of how you embody and how you navigate space and how you navigate the world. Ain't nobody can tell me I'm not a warrior.
That is a fact.
You can't tell me I'm not a warrior before I pick up a bois in a real way. Because, you know, before I pick it up in a real way, I always knew. Just always knew, because I always knew the story. So before the word American became extremely popular in terms of knowing the correct terminology for who we are as marooned people of maroonage, we used to have these big family reunions, right? So the Jackson fraternity, our family was one of the families that were the first to really start tracing the genealogy.
Right.
Shout out to the Hackshaws, cousin Arthur Sampson, who has transitioned, etc. These were the people who would come and sit down in my grandmother's living room
Just talk.
And they would just talk and they would write it down and they would trace it and ting and whatever. So I've just always known, like, I was getting dragged to family reunions with plenty Baptist people, you know, on random weekends. And you're small, you don't know nothing, so you just know your granny and your mommy pack up a set of pillow one thing and we pile in the car. And I know I going in some school, most times a government school auditorium, and you running around whole day, but in the midst of running around and playing, you're listening.
And you're hearing.
And that was my experience growing up. Right? We know his family. There was one time we were very excited because Hazel Manning is American. So there was one year we had it in the Prime Minister's residence. I had plenty pony ride along, and I think that was the best one because I was small.
I want to say something, right? You see, the universe is work weird. Today, you know who was here today? Frankie, old man, who's come to cut by Tyler. And he is American, right? I don't know if you know Dana Tuitt.
We know some Tuitts from San Fernando.
Right. He is one of them.
Okay.
So he was talking to us today about the smelting plant and and he was talking about the Americans and things. And here I am now, getting our baptism by fire. Because I tell him today, I said, Brez, I only have you for half an hour. I need to squeeze you real hard.
Much as I could get.
Real hard. And then small man ready to go because he has something to do. So he's like, brother, pour some juice. We will have a line another time to talk. So this is important to me because I, today, hearing that, because I am a high man. My family is from Guaya.
Right.
And I only found that out when I was in my 30s. My whole life, I thought my family was big so.
Right.
My grandmother, my grandfather brother, and probably one other. That's what I knew. And in work, journeying down my arrow, and a woman watching me, she say, I'm a lanyard around my neck with my ID, and she say, but you're a high man. I say, yeah. She say, but where you from? I never see you before. I say, well, I'm from Tong.
Right.
She said, hi, man in Tong. Yeah. I say, yeah. She said, well, here what's going on? Go and do a meeting. When you're done, come back and talk to me. And that day was a revelation for me because not too long after that, we had a reunion in the same Mayaro in Guaya composite. And full up the whole pavilion. If you see people looking like me, people looking like you, people looking like he, white, dark, pitch black. So that knowing that you're talking about is important because I think it have a lot of people, and I always tell clients on them that, you know, we run from certain things, but when you go in the East Indian business and you see great grandpa picture, right? They could tell you where he come from, how we start, what part of India he come from. That knowing is very important, and I want my children to know.
I want to add to that, because it have a term we just use when you were saying toting. It's not exactly toting, but I take relics. Social media wise, people in person and thing, block man thing on social media and thing. People who's supposed to be my friend and thing my whole life and thing. But because we have a difference in opinion, and as I tell them today I tell them plain straight. If you could use your social media to praise Jesus, and I can't use my social media to praise Eladumari.
Come on.
Right? No, that don't mean nothing to me, you know. But what if you block me on social media because of that, or because I say I don't support no political party about good governance? Right? Anybody that bring good ideas, I'll support it. If I do shit, I talk about it same way.
Yeah.
If there's a problem for you block me on social media, bet your bottom dollar. When you're walking in the road and you see me, you understand what I'm saying?
Keep that same energy.
I'm saying, people, we sending these children to school, and Karen and I discussed this at length during COVID, right? I showing people that only this education system is exactly that, a system that is designed. It is not failing. It was never designed to succeed exactly. Right?
True.
And everybody saying, oh, thing, and look at how much people do this, and I say, How much people you know successful from going to school, getting an education, they go and do CXC, they get 5, 6 passes, they go and do A's, they get 3, 4 A's, they go and do a degree, and today they're real successful. Tell me how much people you know like that. Why they're doing that, I will tell you this. COVID show you that there's a system, and the system is designed to pull out, as they say, hamsters. I call it workers for the system.
worker bees.
Because we was home, couldn't do anything. Most of us couldn't work. But you send children to school to do CXC.
Yeah.
So what you telling me, right?
SEA, that you're
You
rather
You
they dead.
telling me
That they potentially could die, but
Yes.
once they pass the exam.
Yes.
that we couldn't do without them 20-something thousand children doing one exam by 50-something thousand children doing the next exam for a year? Why? Because we need that on. All they want is your energy, you know.
Yeah.
the
That
batteries.
unskilled labor to come in there and run all these stores, and it's like, yo, this system that we live under is designed to work on unskilled labor.
Capitalism has to fall, and this is where things get real dicey. And
Right.
get very, very uncomfortable. Because I tell people, unashamedly, that I am a Caribbean socialist. Period. Punto final. So 2 things. One, let me go back. I'm going to tie the knowing to the school system together.
Right.
They are all operating underneath capitalism and what it stands for, which is about the efforts of the many benefiting the economic power of the few. And that's what it is. And there are certain things that have to remain in place for that system to continue to be perpetuated. The reason why the knowing is so important, because the knowing is very much rooted inside of the creation of and the sustaining of community. And community is what is going to save us. We are long past the era of the doctor politics and the one caped crusader, Captain Save-A-Ho, who's going to swoop in one personality to save the day. And a lot of us are still very much trapped inside of that mindset. We are waiting for somebody to fix it. Whether it's the police commissioner, whether it's the prime minister, whether it's the pastor of a church, whether it's the principal of a school. We want one person to fix it. And we don't understand that we each have a responsibility to the collective. And that is how community is fostered. Community has to save us. And the way you hinder the sustaining of community is to make sure that we don't know. Because if we don't know, then we can't find commonalities amongst each other. There's nothing for us to grab on to. So it's the reason why capitalism is a very individualistic system.
Yes.
It's about exceptionalism. It's
Separation.
about, that's correct. It's about, so SEA is a garbage exam. However, you have the few who pass and do so well. I mean, they came from a terrible, that community is so terrible, but look how well they did. And they're a lawyer now. One person. One.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the rest of people will smoke their pipe. But because one person succeeded, it's supposed to be proof that the system works.
Yes.
And we've been brainwashed into believing that that's a thing. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. So that's the knowing. The next thing in terms of the school system, which is directly linked to that in terms of how the school system is the first catchment that stratifies our society.
Right.
That is how we stratify our society, because we are telling children at 11 years old, 10, 11 years, in fact, forget 10, 11, from 5 when they go in.
Yeah.
Because there are prestige primary schools too.
That's right.
So you are telling children that their worth and their measure and where they are going to fit into society is based on where they fit from that point in time onwards. That's what we're telling them. We are telling them that they are not worth anything. Like the other day, just day before yesterday, I was telling mommy, I was like, I really wish Trinidad and Tobago would stop pretending to care about children. We don't care.
They don't.
We don't care. We beat up like fresh curry because the ghetto have no code no more. So we killing children, we killing granny, we killing parent with child in hand. It have no code. Long time it had a code. It have no code no more. right? But we're pretending to care because we will beat up ad nauseum about those things. We beat up ad nauseum about the children who beat the older man, etc. Am I saying that these things are in essence right? No. But again, we have no sense of community.
Yeah.
We have no sense of community, so there are no checks and balances. There are no codes in place anymore. That's one. Two, we beaten up about the children who beat up the older man, but they cancel the school sports.
Yeah.
And nary a whisper, according to my grandmother.
Best Village cancel.
Yeah.
You understand? You cancel Best Village. You cancel all of the things that you're literally divesting Junior Pan. Pan that is a safe
We see that this year.
Yes, we did.
Pan that is a catchment that has been, and as of recent time, children have been flocking back to Pan.
Yeah.
Pan have real cool factor right about now. Big up Funclair one time.
And Invaders.
Come on.
Man.
Right?
Yeah.
Funclair, Invaders, Renegades, all the bands have amazing youth programs. And we are actively divesting funding to those programs. And that is on purpose. Because it's when Pan empower 2-3, right? 2-3 less. That you could put gun in their hand to fight a war that is not theirs. Like 2-3 less beautiful little black bodies dead in the road.
But also there is 2-3 more that could go and inspire 2-3 more.
Thank you. Yeah. So and all of that is tied into the school system.
Yeah.
All of that is tied into the school system. We very, very hurry to run to amplify the fact that there are all sorts of traumas happening inside of our schools. But if big hardbacks like us have traumas,
and we do.
We have not recovered from COVID. The world, the system, the global system of the global north demanded that the world get back to the business of making it money. So we came out of COVID where thousands of people died.
Yeah.
Thousands of people. We just went back to business as usual.
Yeah.
They put us back into these spaces when we proved that we don't need to sit down in traffic for 3 and 4 hours a day.
Yes.
But if we don't go back into the business, money can't make us rent and go pay. You understand?
And now they have a next one coming. The Hunter virus.
Right.
Trying to frighten me again.
And that's why I always say I need us to connect the dots. Nothing happens in a silo.
Yes.
Education is not separate from what's happening socially, is not separate from the insanity that is happening in the parliament, is not separate from what is happening in terms of crime and criminality in this space. And crime and criminality is a social construct. Nobody is born genetically bad. I need us to stop saying that garbage. These pests, these demons. No, we raised them. They didn't drop from a coconut tree.
Yeah, I keep telling them.
Mango cannot make zabuka.
I hear you say community. I say, but like she hear we last two episodes because
there's an alignment happening.
Because I've been singing, and I can't even remember the modest moment why it came back up again in the last episode we did. It's like, yo, our country is not just this whole thing, you know. Our country is your house that in a street. Your street that make up the village that make up the community, and the different communities that make up the nation. If you can't even tell your neighbor good morning.
Yeah. And the thing is, we're not even thinking about it just in terms of geography. Geography is important because we have marginalized spaces according to geography. Understand? We've vilified whole, like, there are certain bodies in this space that we have collectively decided, many of us who look like them too. We don't like we. Because we want to feel as though we just a wee bit better with our little degree and our car loan that we're struggling and scraping to pay at the end of the month. Right? But we have marginalized peoples according to their geography. However, communities also overlap and transcend. So you have your geographic communities, but you have communities in terms of conclaves of women. There are secret conclaves of women in this space that if the system was really to clock it, and the conclaves of women, you all need to be very thankful that we just wake up in the morning and choose peace. Because if conclaves of women in this space was to really get up and
Put the battery in
demand
the man
our
back.
pound
Yeah.
of flesh.
Yes.
We would
Yes.
burn this bitch to the ground.
Yeah.
So there's that. But there are also other communities. There are creative communities. You have communities operating across maybe professions, etc. The barbershop is a safe space.
Come on.
The hair salon is a safe space.
Come on.
And there are communities that come out of those spaces. The spaces of people who are like parents. So you're raising your children together with people, and sometimes it's not actively we all living in the same space, but we carpooling. They're all in the same club, they're in the same dance class, they're going swimming together. All those things are communities.
So we say, and again, so that is why I go back to that had to start somewhere.
Correct.
Morning,
Yeah.
evening. Yeah, all right. That's how it is. That's how it is going. You know?
Yeah.
We come in a new place to live. Yeah, morning. Yeah, morning.
Greetings.
Hey, morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you good?
Yeah.
And then it just started again. I say, all the people, I for the life of me can't get at people boasting. I don't talk to nobody on here. You know, and not understanding, like, or not wanting to accept. As you say, we's part of this thing here. You don't have a community, it's all we.
Yeah.
And you're living here. Even if this is not the place you're born and thing, you live in here. And we're not doing that. So when we're not doing that now and then saying, well, look all the places. So the place exists by
We're not
itself.
seeing each other.
No.
And here's the thing, I will admit that there are times, I mean, I will tell you greetings, etc. But I also feel that nobody is obligated to access your energy.
Fact.
Right? So I may not necessarily always be the person that talks to my active neighbor right next door. However, it's one of those things where reading energy in a space and understanding when it is a time to pull together. You have to be able to read when it's a time to pull together. Because communication sometimes isn't always the spoken thing. It's also body language. It's how you treat with a space. I mightn't be the chattiest neighbor, but I might be the person to make sure that our collective space is clean.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
We taking that?
Things like
We
that.
taking that?
Because it have chatty neighbors who just want to be in your business. They're not about nothing. Even though they're telling you good morning or whatever, there's the energy
no substance
behind it.
There's no.
You understand? So I'm very wary of performativeness, but I also understand what you mean. I get what you mean. I do.
Yeah.
Multiple things can be true at the same time.
Read out a few of the comments now.
All right. So we have not much, but we have. So Shandal Mendoza said, this woman's vocabulary just has me mesmerized, and I'm a man of many words. I just love the way she's naturally flows. I've only seen...
You know Sheldon Mendoza?
I know his name. Who are you talking about?
Sheldon Mendoza is Trinidad.
Creative,
yeah.
Yes,
so
I just have to see people listen to mommy brain.
Yeah.
That thing that is talking about, it is real.
Maybe it's go with peace. Then he say, I've only seen Abeo on the news advocating and in her show, Reel on YouTube, but I would love to see more of her in the national space, receiving the respect she deserves.
Oh, bless
Mortal said, I love this goddess playing to good manners.
Mortal, I get a line from Mortal in 2011.
Yeah.
He's doing a performance right by Studio 66.
Yeah.
And he come on to sing a song that would ruffle a little Christian fellas. And he said, well, the thing is, and he right here too.
Yeah.
Playing to a good manners only. And I hear that and I just fall in love with that.
I like it.
Right? And the last one he had is Sheldon said, I really don't agree with that code thing now, because saying the code is no women and children kind of means men have no value. I don't agree with that.
No, that's the thing.
I think the code should be no killing, find another way to solve it.
Listen, absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
What I am saying is, even from time dots, because of the fact that we've always been this plantation society, there has been violence encoded into us, right? Which is something that we absolutely have to reckon with.
Yes.
However, inside of that, the communities, because we've always had bad Johns, we've always had bad man in community and whatnot, and who used to command a particular kind of respect in a space. And when things going to go wrong, people used to say, not the, not our church, not our school,
Yeah. Not our house.
not our house.
Yeah.
Not, that's not something we can pretend didn't used to
Yes.
exist.
Yes.
That used to exist. I'm saying that no longer exists. I love what you said in terms of it inherently implying that men have no value. And because here's what I want to tell men.
Please,
fellas,
take the mic.
I need all of us now. No. I just say I is not a feminist. I is a womanist. I is a jamet. I need all of us to be that. Because I need us to understand that the same system of oppression that is mobilizing women is mobilizing mankind as well.
Facts.
Capitalism is what has told us that if a man don't have money, he have nothing to offer. Our Calypsonians have sung about it ad nauseum. You're looking for plenty. You don't have no money. Why you want to marry? You ain't working no way. You don't have a payday. And that's why we can have these conversations online now about whether poor people deserve to have children or not. Everything is encoded. This idea that men's worth is inherently tied to their capital and their money. It is a system that has produced that. And that in turn has perpetuated, allowed for the perpetuation of crime and criminality in the space. Because if a man doesn't feel powerful and doesn't have agency in of himself, then he's going to go out and find it by any means necessary. You understand? And then you have the women at home who are also impacted by the very same system because some of these things are internalized. So you have women who in the space as well going, well, now he had to find it and bring it for me because I need things and child out of mine and this, that, and it's a violent cycle. So you're absolutely right in terms of the system implying that men's worth is inherently tied to their money and their capital. What are we doing to deconstruct that? And I need mankind to understand that all you need to be some of the biggest womanists and jamets out here.
Yes.
Because we beaten up those are the same systems that also encode in men a certain kind of violence. It's the reason why gender-based violence is so prevalent in this space. Because if men walk into their homes and feel as though they have no power, if they have no power in the streets, and they come home and they also feel as though they have no power, what is going to, and they can't fight. The system is like this nebulous thing that you can't lash.
But you
could, thank you.
Feel
And
all
it's
the
not being
effects
held accountable. But when you reach home, the human embodiment of the people who are expecting certain things of you and from you, you feel as though you can lash out against that, right? You feel as though you don't own nothing in this world, so you have to own shit. You understand?
Yes.
I need us to connect the dots, please.
Yeah.
Please.
I like that. I like how that I work.
Yeah.
But I want to, on that note, because in some of the documentaries that we've looked at and in reviewing African history, that is what it was. The woman was the deity. The woman was.
We are a matriarchal society.
Yes, you understand? Because we come from you.
We are.
The Nabal and it's something Mortal say in one of his songs. Which one it was, boy? We say, boy, if you don't have how you could be without showing me that you don't have a Nabal, something like that. I can't remember which one it was. But the essence of that discussion is how a man cannot be.
Well, we adopted a religious ideology that says woman come from man rib.
Correct.
Whereas, and this idea of submitting, and that's cool if that's what you believe. Fair.
Yes.
But I will tell you that me is not submitting to something that I create.
Listen.
Understand? That's one. Two, there's this idea that matriarchy is the polar opposite of patriarchy. And men fear the idea of matriarchy because they think matriarchy is going to do to them what patriarchy has done to all of us. That is not how matriarchy operates.
Correct.
Matriarchy is rooted in community survival. That's inclusive. That's everybody. It elevates and privileges children and the elderly in particular, those who are the most vulnerable. Matriarchy privileges those who are the most vulnerable, but it is also rooted in community. So matriarchy is not about woman wanting to do to man what man has done to woman. And by men feeling threatened by matriarchy, what it tells me is that you're aware of the violence of patriarchy and you're benefiting from it, which is why you don't want it to shift. And that's something those are hard truths that to talk about. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, love the mankind same way.
Yeah.
You know, I have one home. Love the
But the
mankind
discomfort
same
is
way.
necessary because there's no growth without it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, well, that's what my space is for inside of here, right? I had to pull up a bridge the other day because you're looking after a partner in the hospital. So I say, well, you went up and checked the man since? Nah, boy, I have everything to do. I say, but you live in my man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I am not afraid to check people. You understand what I'm saying?
Bless you for
Because
that.
I've seen in my little 44 years on the planet, I've started seeing some of the things you're talking about. It's 17 years I living on the street. The only time our entire street was outside was a time a fella get bullet. And they come out and find the car on the road. And one of the neighbors said that he's like, this is the first time I have seen the whole of 7th Street outside.
Wow.
And that rocked my world because I keep saying it's something I want to try to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But to try to get everybody to come out, if it's a little barbecue for Christmas, something, you know, to bring back that energy. Because my children, my neighbor and my children is the same age, you know. His last son went to school with my second daughter, with my second child, right? And I mean, they know one another in school, but that's about it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now the neighbor over the road going jiu-jitsu with my son. You understand? So when them come in the evening, that's why I started letting him walk. Because I could drop him.
Right.
But they just walk. I said, no, I'll go with them. Because that in there, something's starting to build.
Right.
Because now they're looking out for him, he looking out for them. You know what I mean? And as I said just now, the space, the shop, the barber shop is something that I hold dearly because men don't have that.
Correct.
You understand? And I have been trying to keep these fellas on track. No man can sit down. If this chick could tell you and talk, woo, I just tell men right in this chair, you cannot come here and tell me you want your wife. I'll run you like a dog.
I like that for
You dig? I'll run you like a dog.
I like that for them.
Because how you come in here and see me with my wife working right over here. We are the same space. She's a hairdresser as a papa, right? You come in here and you seeing me operating like this. You seeing how I behave. And you come in to tell me about the outside girl. I don't want to hear about that, brother.
Yeah.
I'm not into that. I'm holding you accountable.
Good.
You understand? Because my thing is, I believe that the women need the men need the women, right? And is, as you say, the uncomfortable conversations. Like, I hold plenty of women responsible for the way some of the fellas behaving now. There's no men in academia. Look at it, they're not going to learn nothing. Why? Because the women of academia no longer hold the men accountable. They're not giving them something to aspire to. So a woman like you, educated and thing, you are going wrong, no locho man. When I say locho, you know what I mean, right? You're going around somebody with value, somebody who could add and bring peace to you. You understand? You're not going wrong, no, what do you call them? No lash up head?
Wow, that's what we're calling them now?
That's what we call them. They're shaking.
Wow.
Right? You ain't going wrong on that, right? But a man who working hard and educated and that kind of thing, seeing a woman on, using the capitalist terms, on his level, right? With a man who is, I had to use them diagrams, right? Because if I don't do it, people ain't gonna understand what I'm saying, right? To a man, with a construction man. I'm not saying a construction man can be good, because I know good construction man, I know good plumber, I know good barber, I know good all of that,
and they're probably making more money than us.
Fact, right? So, but a man of esteem, as you say, looking at that with like, but then, why you doing? If I not there, and he getting through, but he ain't thinking, maybe it's something that he's doing. What she sees in him is not the tangible value, but maybe the spiritual value. Maybe he's a good listener. You understand? Maybe he is somebody who's talked to her and get her to do, motivate her. Because women need motivation too.
Listen, there's a, sorry. The world of academia is a very complicated and toxic space.
Yes.
Here's why. Because academia, particularly higher education, is very much in service to the system as it currently operates. So yes, decolonization and decolonizing theory is a thing, and you always have to be very careful about the system taking
Words.
a thing
Yeah.
and co-opting it and handing it back to you, right? It's the reason why woke became weaponized, right? So sometimes when you watch the people who in decolonizing type studies, all beige and from the metropoles, and it's be like, but how you getting grants and funding for make it make sense? And the people who like black scholars and scholars of color
Nothing
cannot get through, right? Here's what I'll say: you could do everything right. So I have first degree, second degree, working on a third degree. Has that necessarily helped my upward mobility financially? No. No. And there are so many young people coming out who will see millennials. If it's one thing a black millennial woman will do is get a degree. You know us.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, what am I going to do next? I started my PhD in the middle of COVID.
Wow.
If that is not a trauma response, I don't know what it is.
Wow.
The middle of COVID, I was like, well, the world is coming to an end. I should do a PhD. Like, who does that? That's this crazy thing. But the point is, you could do everything right, and the system still will not reward you, especially if you're like me, who is actively speaking out against it very publicly.
You just answering all my questions about me.
Very, very publicly. So you have a lot of the Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas, Gen Z and Gen Alphas in particular, who will flat out tell you they're not doing that. They're not doing university. Yeah. They don't see the value in.
But how could you, when you see a man come here with...
I know what to talk about, Mr. Speed.
When you see that and the kind of money he making with that.
Yeah.
When you see children talking about toys and hearing that the parents make $5 million US last year, all the children will set up a good camera. I like this ring. Oh my God, this ring is so nice. For humble designs, by the way.
Love it.
Right? Yeah. How you can convince these children and them that?
Multiple truths at the same time.
Yeah.
There is no reason for a child should be able to choose what they want to do. So if they are inclined towards being the next CLR James, the next George Padmore, the next Claudia Jones, great. Push them in that direction. We are lacking innovative scholars and thinkers. Revolutionary scholarship and thinking is at an all-time low in this space. You know? And that there's a reason that is, because our education system after 1970 say, all you're too radical.
Calm down.
We need to take out some of these things out this silly bus.
Yeah.
After 1970, something very radical happened. They co-opted our revolution. Everybody can wear afro and work in the bank. All right, cool. We're free.
Free, yeah.
It's finished. We're free.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And you know, all veneration and props and big ups to the men and women who are part of that revolution, because they've literally put their bodies on the line. On the line. But Eric and them was smart, right? So my thing is, we have room for revolutionary scholarship in this space, absolutely. But we also have room for a whole new generation of tradesmen.
Yeah.
A whole new generation of tradesmen and women who use the technology as well. Maybe this, now I don't understand the allure to just sitting down and watching somebody stream their life whole day. Like, I personally don't get it. I can think of nothing I want to do less. However, the young children and them
love it.
They love it.
Yeah.
And I am also saying that we as adults need to pay better attention to how much time our children are spending online and what they are being fed.
That's right. That is correct.
Please and thanks. Please and thank you. But I'm also saying maybe there is a young person out there who is about to find the hybrid between scholarship and screaming.
I agree with that.
Maybe there's a hybrid to be had that we can't see because it's not of us.
Yeah.
But we have to allow them the room to imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But we did it too. I would call Omari
Yes.
Space.
Ashby
Yes.
as a hybrid.
Love Omari.
Come up in the raps of fraternity
Very
that
bad.
plenty of the
Very.
older generation would not want no part of.
Correct.
Still scholarly,
Mm-hmm.
could do all them different things and interact with two different set of spaces at the very same time,
yeah.
right? But you was talking just now about the history and thing, right? So before I started the Nubian experience in 2013, I used to sell DVDs,
Right.
documentaries, African history, world history, right? That where all that firebrand come from. When you sit down and watch all them thing, them hours and thing. And I remember doing an event in UE in 2013. And I just started the line and I still had DVDs. Of course, I hope the younger children thinking we might have to explain to them what are DVDs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they had the titles on them and thing. And some history students came in and when I say now, one of the titles was Christianity versus African Consciousness by Ray Higgins. And then I can't remember the title, but it was Dr. John Henry Clark. And one of the telling youth man telling me, he pull up Clark and he say, but he not no doctorate. I said, so what I mean, he didn't know what he was talking about. Right? He nothing and I say, all right. He say, there is no Christianity in Africa before the coming of the Caucasian in West Africa. Go and prove that wrong. I hear until 6 o'clock.
Come back and meet
Come
me.
back and
check
prove that
that,
wrong.
yeah.
That man come back with a lecture.
Mm-hmm.
Because he couldn't. I say, and that's just one line. There is no Christianity in West Africa before the arrival of the Caucasian. Now, if that is just one line, and people like Dr. Clark, Joseph Banyakonan, and them spend their whole lives traveling back and forth, getting the issue. I mean, Dr. Clark said that he went Senegal looking for Sheikh Anta Diop, who was the black scientist that used DNA in 1976. I thought DNA was a new thing in terms of the testing.
Right.
And this man in 1976 used DNA testing to prove that all them things, all they calling mummies that all they find in Egypt, all of them black. And it is proven today that research is still there to go and see. They'll hide up all the work and think, Dr. Clark leave America. Kind of something like we leave America and go in Senegal to find him. Reach and can't find him, man. And he money run out. And what save him?
Community.
The same thing you're just talking about. Community, a woman take him in, she husband and everything, the feeding him and thing, and the help, and he find. And that's how the West, that's how we in the West learn of Sheikh Anta Diop works.
That's a beautiful narrative in terms of sometimes you're on your last and you feel like I done there. I don't have any more. I don't have any more resources. I don't have any more energy. And the community is what will swoop in and say, rest for a while. We have you. We have you. Rest and come again.
Yeah.
That's important. That's extremely important because your come again could be the difference between us continuing to believe something that is inherently untrue and dangerous and detrimental to our continued existence and us finding out the truth. And there are millions of, let's bring it home to Trinidad and Tobago. There are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of young people in this space who have that potential. And we are robbing them of living up to that potential, of exploring that potential by what we are force feeding them in our education system, to how we are treating them in our communities, to how we have made them believe that they are disposable. There are so many young black poor youth in this country, men, young boys, young girls, who are very okay with the idea of not making it to their 21st birthday.
Yeah. But they're telling you that.
They're real cool.
Listen.
With not making it to their 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Which is why they make the choices that they make, because they tell themselves, I'm dead
Exactly.
anyway.
Yes.
Correct.
I need us to understand that. And that is not a genetic failing. That's a community failing. That's all of us. Have to take responsibility for that. Every single one of us. Whether we live in hoity-toityville or we live in the ghetto.
So
it is question I had, right? You kind of touch on it a little bit, but I still want to read it out for you to probably, what made you so unafraid to speak out publicly about the issues of the world, knowing that there can be consequences?
Before Smalls, it was that idea of if not me, who? Because and that is not rooted in any kind of arrogance at all. That's rooted in why all of us not saying it? Why all of us not saying it? Why all of us not doing? I facilitated a workshop, again, Emancipation Support Committee, apart from the National History Quiz, they also do their National Spoken Word competition for primary schools. So we do facilitation throughout the year leading up to the national competition that is broadcast in November during African History Month.
Right.
So we do, workshops that deal with projection and presence, and we go through the booklet with all of the pieces, and we talk about the history a little bit and whatnot. And one of the things I said to them, I can't remember which piece it was, boy. Which piece it was? Was it the piece by Mighty Duke? Or was it the piece by... no, it was Missing Generation. Auntie Ella's Missing Generation is one of the pieces, one of the calypsos that they can use as spoken word for the regional competition this year. They'll have a new batch by the time we get to nationals. So we're talking about the Missing Generation, and I was asking them questions. Never feel children don't understand.
What?
They understand.
Very well.
Get it.
Very well.
Right? The oldest child in that room was probably 9, if that much. They get it. The youngest child, 6. What is Missing Generation about? And, talking about how the song made them feel, how the lyrics made them feel. And I told them that their homework, I gave them lots of homework. But one of the pieces of lots of homework in terms of go and listen to the calypsos and go and ask about certain terms that they came across and whatnot. But one of the pieces of homework that I gave them is to go to the adults in their spaces, mommy, daddy, granny, auntie, uncle, a teacher, principal, and ask them, auntie, mommy, what is one thing you think you are doing right now to make the world a better place for me?
Because
children have to hold us accountable because we on shit.
Facts.
We are on shit.
Facts.
So again, if not me,
Who?
then who? And then post Smalls, like the anxiety of going, Abeo, you wait till now when the world is an absolute dumpster fire to bring a small human into this. Now, we had to do something.
Yeah. Now we have to do something.
We have to do something.
Yeah.
Because this is not it.
Yeah.
I don't want her to have to do this that we doing now. If when I leave, she had to be doing the same thing I doing now.
Fail.
To beat up like a fresh carry to make this world a better place. Fail. I want my child to have ease. If it's one thing my mother taught me is how to be strong, how to be a warrior, etc., etc. But one thing I know for a fact, and in a lot of ways I am teaching my mommy now, because we teach our parents things too, is how to have ease. It's something, I'm teaching her it while I learn it myself.
Yeah.
How to have ease.
Yeah.
How to have intentional joy. Because if it's one thing Black women know how to do is struggle and make it and get it done. And
fight.
You understand? We always fighting.
Yeah.
You understand? Soft girl life though.
Yeah. What happened to that?
What happened to soft girl life? So only Becky and Susie and Karen and them must have soft girl life.
Yeah.
I must have soft girl life too.
Not at all.
And I'm not talking about soft girl life in terms of just like the mani-pedi and the hair and the makeup. That's lovely, and the brunches. I'm talking about soft girl life in terms of being secure in your peace, in your purpose, in the creation of legacy. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about soft girl life. Understand? So that's the reason why I am, I lose 2 walks since February.
Well, I was going to ask you if that is why Chagrit Road
Yeah, because we don't call certain names
Yeah,
and we don't give them that kind
no
of.
forward.
I can't talk about it because my union rep and my lawyer go kiss me.
Okay, no, say no more.
Say no more.
Say no more.
We
But
try to get you no trouble.
we are again. So this space here that is known as Swahili artistry is much more than a barbershop. You know the kind of thing. My clothing line was born here. When he was launching this in 2012. We come here tonight. I looking for, and as I say, we started to do what it was. So it wasn't. I know now it wasn't accidental, but that was the thing that
catalyst. Yeah.
That right. I looking for clothes. Them time I go see. I la black man.
Yeah.
Because where I reach right now is, I think, is an insult to our ancestors to wear white people name on your clothes.
Right.
So to walk around with Hilfiger and Prada and Polo and thing that, I don't know, it has no status in that as a proud black man.
Yeah.
So I want to wear, but them
also
time
venerating them by doing it.
exactly.
Of course, they keep calling in.
Right. Yeah. All I wanted at that time was a jersey to Africa on it or an anchor, and that is all I wanted. Can't get it, and we come here the night for he launched. And I see a man with a jersey and a shirt on, like he had the same idea I have. But he got an iron-on patch and I don't know, cook it. And it just hit me. When I mean it just hit me. One of the few times in my life something just hit me. I had to do that. And that is how it started. But this space here, I mean, I've sit down inside of here and listen to some conversations. Like, this is how I know that the present form of politics, you can't get me to keep quiet about it because I understand that politics, the things we don't like to talk about is things that govern our lives. Politics and religion. Those are things that govern our daily lives, right? I hear solutions to real problems in Trinidad and Tobago, and I could dare even say parts of the world right inside of here. And if we could sit down here and have these conversations, you're telling me in 2026 it's still our communities in Trinidad and Tobago, especially communities where 90-something% of the residents look like us, that still not having water problems.
Come on. That's not accidental.
We live on a small island with a desalination plant.
That's not accidental.
As I always tell people, I remember I was going to school when Bas Jopande was the Prime Minister. I was in Form 4, right? I remember I didn't care about politics or anything at the time. I was just caring about getting a mark every 3 days and going to school and being everything that I could have been in school, right? But I always remember when he was doing that, the people that was in opposition at the time was saying that's a stupid idea, you're wasting money, thing. But I look at it today, it's up and running, right? As I make it clear, I support no political party. I am good governance. Can you imagine with the water problems we have in today if we didn't have that desalination plant?
It is not accidental. Capitalism is a system of death and desperation. I'm going to say it again. Because we have been conditioned that when you hear words like socialism and communism, you consider them the boogeyman.
Cringe.
You see them as systems that are destined to fail, systems that are authoritarian, etc. And you've bought into westernized propaganda of the global north. Venezuela, Cuba, in the current now in the region, Venezuela and Cuba's biggest transgressions is the fact that they dare to say that their resources should belong to them.
That is all, eh?
They
make that clear.
That's it.
Meanwhile, America is killing babies, premature babies in Cuba. Cuba, who had, before this new reinforcement of new, I don't even want to call it embargo, sanctions. It's literally
There's
economic warfare.
War.
Cuba had one of the best rates, maternal and infant birth rates
in the world.
In the world, not even just
the Caribbean,
in the world, right? It's on purpose because they dare to say that their resources, their $1 million resources that the West wants to get their sticky little hands on, should belong to them. America love people place. America with 3 Ks. They love people place. They love to be in people place bad.
Yeah, they want it.
And anytime you dare to say that you can't be replaced, and worse yet, you can't control
Yeah, we want to go
things
on
that
with it.
innately
Yeah.
belong to us, they get very upset about it. Right? And the fact that we have capitulated to this imperial power is an abomination and such an insult to our legacy. Now, sovereignty is a very, very fickle thing. Sovereignty is a very fickle idea. We like to think of ourselves as being free or we independent. But our independence was bartered in very, very
Closed doors.
listen,
small
one closed
rooms.
doors, but it's very fickle because we're not really free.
Yeah.
We've never been economically free.
No.
Which is why we feel now we have to kowtow to Trump and his cronies.
Yeah.
Word to the wise, our education system was linked to how we came about our independence. Part of the conditionalities of our independence was the Concordat. The Concordat is tied to how we educate our children. You see that denominational. We have 2 education systems operating in this space.
Yeah.
We have the colonial prep school system, which is the prestige schools, and then the government school system, which is a totally different beast by itself. It's not an accident. The way our independence was negotiated is the reason why Eric and CLR fall out. When CLR was originally one of Eric's mentors. CLR fall out to the point that CLR left this country and pretty much did not come back. I need us to, and these are the parts of our history that we hide.
Yes.
That you're not possibly fortunate enough to encounter until you get to
Can I
tertiary
interject,
education.
please? I just want to interject. You can't hide something you don't know about.
It's true, you're
Right.
right.
Carry on.
You're right. You're right.
So if we don't get them history, if we don't talk it,
Nobody would
and
know.
people don't know it,
But
just
we
like
had to pay big money to go here, we to get it.
Correct.
But you might even get that in UE.
Yeah, you have to have very best lecturers who will tell you things.
Right.
Because the first thing they're going to tell you, you're disrespecting the father of the nation. I tell people, one thing I tell people, and I stand up on this to anybody in any part of the world. If I talk about something that happened yesterday, that I didn't do to you, I'm not disrespecting you in any way. So if I am saying to you that he went against some of the people that he started the process with, and we have historical documentation of that, I am not disrespecting who you call the father of the nation.
No. And the thing is, what I tell people is, Williams was not our only brilliant thinker. He was a brilliant man.
Definitely.
Brilliant. But he was a capitulator to capitalism. Because, listen, all the terms going to come up. Afro-Saxonism is a very real thing. People who want the proximity to the system because we see it as being our way out and up to the detriment of so many others. Right? We don't really care about the rest of people. You want the worker bees. This idea of trickle-down economics, which was always foolishness. Always foolishness. So when we hear about other systems, socialism, communism, capitalism wants to position itself as being the only. It's the reason why capitalism and Christianity and colonialism, them things is heavy first cousins.
First cousins? Nah, they're a little closer than that, yeah.
They literally depend on each other to operate. They depend on each other to operate. And again, those are things and conversations that make people very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, any system at all, now capitalism is a death machine. Point blank period. In a way you can't redeem it. There's no redeeming quality. But all systems where if you place absolute power in the hands of a few and it leans into fanaticism, all systems can become a danger to a wider society. Because it has to be managed. But socialism in of itself, we have socialist elements that operate in our space. We have socialist elements. Do we lean into it in real ways? No, we don't. Because if we did, then our education system would make sense, healthcare would make sense, our social programs would be more robust. We would be making sure, we'd be making sure that our community, that inequity amongst our communities would be eradicated. But then things like say common entrance, SEA would fall apart.
Yeah.
Because then if all of the communities, the schools were operating at the same level.
Oh God, we always talk about that.
Right? Then it would mean...
You hear this program already?
Then it would mean that your child would go to school close to home.
Correct.
And zoning would not be like the big bad boogeyman, right? You wouldn't be lying about where you're living on the farm.
No.
Anyway.
I had up a granny from...
You know about that firsthand.
Listen to me. This place...
So, in today's world, once you are over 30 and this conversation is making you uncomfortable, I am very wary of you.
Of course.
I am very, very wary also. I remember posting this on Facebook years ago and people having a problem with it. I am also very, very wary of white sympathizers.
Oh, listen to me. Scratching apologists, you find the big heart. I always say it.
Yeah. Right? I am very, you see.
Come on.
Any space that I have to be in. I mean, I tell people, I remember getting invited to a meeting supposedly to talk about black business because that's something we really promote about here. We cannot talk all this talk and have no money.
Nah.
That's just the nature of the system we live under. In order to burn it down.
You must
you must. Right?
Come on.
These people invite me to a meeting now and I pull out. So I know how to actually show you some dashikis. Because that side of the wardrobe with the dashiki is full. I know some of them really and truly the length that time. Right?
So you're right.
But I always try my best to keep at least 3 or 4 new ones. So if Karen tell me, hey, we're doing so. Have new. Yeah. Right? I pull out my new dashiki. Spend my half hour ironing my dashiki.
No, man.
Half hour. You press it.
Yeah, son. Make sure the shoes wipe and polish. And when I go on and push, all I see is shit and tie. So, well, it's not the same set of people then.
Yeah.
Tell it. Make sure one person see me and I tell them, can I go on my way? Simply because I am telling people, I have a line that is used with this thing. It's more than a dress code. It's a way of life. But part of that way of life is the dress code. Why? You go in China. We watch all them Kung Fu movie, the parade. We are long second street to go when you was going primary school to go by the cinema to see.
Yeah.
They had something in common. When you go to a monastery, all the monks of them dress the same, right? How do you tell them my clothes don't matter and they're talking all African clothes, you only talking like you're selling clothes. I say, all right. You go in China and you go in a monastery and all the monks and them are one 3-piece suit drinking tea. Nothing about that would sit down good with your spirit. But you're watching me who telling you I am a proud African and it must be shown, it must be reflected in my clothing. But you're telling me now that is not too much. It's the children and them I want to talk to about that. When them children them come in the village, by the way, everybody is telling, including him, bring your children. Me necessarily want to hear about all, bring them children. Because when them children and them come, the way these children interact, they're watching all the masks and things. I was wearing one of them masks on my neck. That same mask I'm there. I was cheating one another. The children, the babies,
love it.
I have never met a baby that as they see that then,
you reach towards it.
but JD,
listen, it's one of those things where we are self-contempt is a hell of a thing. And sometimes I have to give people grace. Sometimes I just get irritated and annoyed and I just be like, you know what?
that is it. I know what the grace thing, but that is it already.
But I also give people grace because sometimes you have to meet people where they are. You have to meet people where they are. And if we want to have a revolution that is sustaining, you have to meet real people where they are, right?
Yeah. Plenty.
Plenty. Because the majority don't know.
Yeah.
According to Man Warren, one of my mentors, they don't know and they don't know that they don't know. So you have to meet them where they are. They've been told that respectability looks a certain way. That in order to access certain spaces, it looks a certain way. Is the reason why plenty people was spiritual Baptist and Orisha back in the day, but they was making sure to getting their children in the Anglican and the Catholic school and baptizing them because they were told that that was the way to ensure that your children were successful. If your child went to an Anglican or a primary school, it meant that they had a greater chance of going to Anglican or primary or Anglican or Catholic secondary school, which meant you had a better chance and a better chance and a better chance. Now we all know that in essence was a lot of garbage.
Yes, a shitload of garbage.
Right? Like and even more so now, but that's what our grandparents knew. Your grandparents used to make sure that you spoke properly. Right? So code switching was not a thing that wasn't a thing.
It was nothing,
You spoke properly because you understand?
Yes.
And it's the reason why I know I rub a lot of supposed academics probably the wrong way because I am code switch bantan. and sometimes I do it on purpose because I always say academia is a very masturbatory space because it's like they like to talk to themselves.
Yeah.
Except why are we doing the work?
Yeah.
If the work that you're doing cannot resonate or reach the people who you're supposed to be advocating for, then why are you doing? Want to just go to conferences and talk to each other?
Yeah.
That is foolishness.
Garbage.
That is foolish. Like why are we doing it? So if it is, I can't speak the language of my people and them, which then that don't make no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. There's also power in nation language. I went into that in depth with the children day before yesterday. Nation language, you call it broken English dialect. The correct term is nation language. Nation language,
I read your thing on it.
The way we communicate, there is power in the way we communicate. That is why the colonials were so invested in making sure that they stole our languages from us. They mix we up to make sure that
we can't
Fula can't talk to Yoruba, can't talk to Igbo, can't talk to... That's why they mix us up. To make sure that there was a language barrier. And then the only thing that would unite us was the language that they gave us.
And please tell the people that the English language that we forcing our children to speak correctly, we was beaten to learn it.
Thank you.
They didn't say learn this language and teach you, hey, A for apple, B for banana. They had a whip.
Toby.
Yeah.
It's the reason also why people who still believe in corporal punishment for children, I need you all to divest that little piece of trauma. Please and that. But that's for another time. Apart from that, our nation language, it wasn't even just as simple as they beat we to learn it. Remember, before the British came, we was French.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of our nation language, the cadence and the shape and the rhythm of it is actually French. It's actually like there's a way to conjugate it, there's a way to spell it, and we're not teaching that, and we're gonna lose it. The same way we lost patois because our grandparents didn't teach us it, because they used to talk it in order for us not to understand
what they're saying.
The same way we largely lost patois, we're gonna lose our nation language in its richest and most beautiful forms. It's the reason why children on social media are spelling stupes, S-T-U-P-E-S. That is not stupes, that is stupes. You need to stop it, please. That is stupes. That's not stupes. There's a way. And it's beautiful. And there is power in sitting down in we own rhythm and we own language. Please and that. Okay, good. I'm done.
So, we know that's what's going to happen, Karen and I, which usually happens when we're in this kind of flow. Because look, Mortel say, this goddess should join Oli as a host. You understand? But you see, because there's a particular part of this conversation that some of us want to have, some of us are longing for, but we can't get outside in most instances now, because something that I used to tell Karen a long time, there's no nice way to tell somebody something you believe in your whole life wrong. There's no... So I always say, oh, your voice heavy and thing. I say, okay, let Abeo say it.
No,
so when I say to you, we do believe in Jesus because Jesus not real to us. He's not our ancestor. He's not from our bloodline. The Bible is a book that's full of holes, that full of things that don't make no sense. Because if your son come home after missing for 3 days, and you have all the people searching for him on social media and thing, and he tell you he went down by the wharf, and he was breathing out there, and I first saw him, and he was in his stomach for 3 days, you can't even say that.
But to be fair, here's my thing, right? I don't even, to me, that's not even my rationale or argument, because you know that plenty of our story, you go and you do DAFA and you get your various readings and you get your various stories to go along with it, etc. You will hear plenty
I have a response for that one time because I don't know where
you will hear plenty things that sound like it should be unbelievable, right? But we believe and we know it to be true and we understand it, right? Yes. We understand, and we also understand that much of it is also supposed to be metaphorical, allegory, and all those wonderful things. Fair enough. My major thing about it is you can't tell me that the ideology that was literally used to kill my ancestors and oppress my ancestors is going to be my healing and my saving. You can't, it don't, and it never sit with me, because our family is Anglican, you know, largely. There's a lot of my family that's Anglican, you know, my grandmother. But the thing is, my grandmother, etc., were one of those who walked with one foot on each side. You understand? So I grew up knowing and hearing certain things and we singing certain things and just always knowing. But come Sunday morning, she's stepping going up the road. Shoes match the stockings, match the dress, match the hat, match the clutch. Proper. You understand? But the church she choosing to go to is Father Kwame Moshlabani, St. Clements, who do the first Kwanzaa. You understand? So she found a way to kind of, you understand? Right. But but it still just never sit with me. Never sit with me. I know that the feeling that it seemed people got in, particularly when Born Again became a thing in Trinidad, that people used to get in terms of that feeling of what seemed to be a euphoria, is what I would get when I sing in Nation Dance song for Saraka, or if I sing in for the various energies and them. So it never fit my spirit, and some things are just not for some people, and that's fine. That's okay, you know. So for me, it's not even wanting to dispute the realness of the supposed the stories in the Bible. I read the Bible multiple times like a storybook. I was a child that used to read plenty. So you read the stories like a storybook. And I saw the parallels between the things they used to call Aesop fables back in the day to what, you know, like I saw it and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing the thread. You can't language it when you're small, but you're seeing the similarities and the morals. And then you make the parallel to the Anansi stories. So I tracked that in terms of how people use stories to sway people to influence their behavior. I tracked that from early. But of course, the ones that had the imagery that resonated with us was obviously the ones that stayed with me more, that I would be swayed towards more. So yes, I read the Bible like a story, but you see them Anansi stories.
Representation.
I know this week I find them today, right?
They're still around. We're not teaching them, but they're around.
I'm going to tell you things that stick with me because I, through my mother, was a heavy reader.
Right.
And that is where, that was the beginning of me moving away from Christianity because you made me read it. Right?
And question.
Right. Brer Rabbit.
Come on.
And Nancy, those are stories from my childhood that still stuck with me. Aesop's fables.
Yeah.
Right? And then when I was getting a little older, she started to allow me to borrow like Hardy Boys.
Sweet Valley High, Nancy Drew, Bobsy Twins.
That started to put
Famous
you know
Famous
yourself.
Five.
Oh gosh.
The whole Enid Blyton
series
actually raised red flag. I loved Enid Blyton, the magic, the Obia will resonate, right? But there were certain things in it that raised red flags. I was like, so why Gollywog had a look so?
Yeah.
Enid Blyton
Was a
was
racist.
racist bad.
Yeah.
Racist bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Now, can you imagine?
But we read them nonetheless.
How much?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we just sit down and actively look for things from our childhood? I mean, God, they're showing us some of the cartoons on them.
Yeah, Popeyes and things.
Yeah.
Like, watch pana, everywhere you go that have a savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney
Always not.
perpetuated so many racist
Right.
tropes.
Yeah, boy.
So I want to close with this, right? We try to always ask our guests, can you give us an idea that you might have for a solution in improving our situation as African Black people in this country?
Community.
Right.
Community. and I know it sounds maybe abstract, maybe idealistic, but it's not.
Right.
Because it's right there. It's right there. It's the people you live close to. It's the club that you belong to. It is you going and seeking out people of like minds. It's the kind of art that you choose to participate in. Community is what is going to save us. There is no one personality in a space anymore. That era, I think, is over.
It's over. Yeah.
It's not one personality, it's all of us. And there are more of us than there are of them. I need us to understand that. We will sit and we will gripe and we will bellyache about things in this space, and then we actively do nothing. We talk about the fact that, well, it's not changing anytime soon. Why?
Because we ain't doing nothing.
I'm not saying that everybody needs to sit down with a placard opposite the US Embassy. I'm not saying that everybody in the country needs to come out to the Zone of Peace rally, etc. What I am saying is, do not come in my inbox after the fact and talk about, I love what you're doing, but I just couldn't come because,
Yeah.
my visa and my family and my this. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. Because if you're not willing to put yourself on the line, then you are not truly invested in changing anything in this space. And not everybody is the warrior out in the front. Some people is the auntie cooking the food.
In the back, yeah.
Some people is the people providing medicine. Some people is the people who making sure the children are taken care of. Some people are the people who sitting down having conversations like this and coming up with the ideas. Everybody in a community has a different role.
Fact.
Everybody has a different role. So unless you are actively deciding what your role is and then putting your body and your time on the line and being dedicated towards that role, don't come in my inbox to give me no sad story. Please, I beg of you.
Stay out.
Because I'm running out of patience of trying to be like kind and polite and going, yes, thank you so much for the support, huh?
Yeah.
That only goes so far.
Yeah.
That only goes so far. What are we actively doing? Are you not tired of seeing our children dying?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Are you fed up? We literally to the point of our 2-year-olds dying.
I asked that exact
fed
question about 2 weeks ago. I guess, right? Well, they ain't tired. Are we kidding me? Well, they're not tired of that.
You understand? You're tired of people peeing in your face and calling it rain?
What I was always watching that is, if I post up my personal issues,
Yeah.
as a single
Everybody in your
father, and I
comments.
post up,
Everybody in your comments.
Mommy ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Comments. I post up. That thing happened there, and nobody ain't saying nothing. Yeah, nobody ain't commenting. Nobody ain't saying nothing. It's like, yo, where? I tell people, I used to be one of them say it's too much I talk, but it's not too much talk. Yeah, we have to keep talking.
You have to keep talking.
Right?
And doing.
But what I'm saying is, it seems like today, the talk is, if it's not bacchanal talk, or just to regurgitate something that already in the atmosphere, nah.
No.
We
And we love whataboutism. So what about and where this group and where that group and where are you?
Yeah. Yeah, Ivory Tower asking what about?
You?
What about?
What are you willing to put on the line to make this space a better space for your children, your grandchildren, even if you don't have biological children, just generally, what you're doing to make the space a better space. So unless you're ready to put up,
Shut up.
So before we go to, I want to tell Aquino and his wife, happy
Kiva, yeah.
anniversary.
Happy
17
anniversary,
years.
17 years.
That's something I was really celebrating in we space when it comes to us
Black
as
love.
young black
Black
people.
love, come
Because
on.
it's not something that is often shouted.
Reveled
Now,
in.
Karen say something, and he could tell you that is something else I had to say too. You might talk the horn talk, you know. I can't not what you're talking the horn talk, but if me and you and your wife or your long-term girlfriend good, you can't bring no woman around me.
Come on.
And I tell people, they're not idealistic or nothing. I just think it's extremely disrespectful for the way how people talk and react and get on. You know, I know your wife. Hey, how you going? My sister, yeah, well, we laugh and talk. We might go down, might come in on your house. And you bringing another woman around me?
Mad.
But there's so many people who don't hold people accountable for just everyday
Basic
tomfoolery.
stuff, yeah.
So they feel as though, you know, and that if you as a man was to say something about it, then that reflects apparently on your manhood.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you all are going.
My manhood is not dependent on how Karen see me.
Come on.
Vice versa.
Right? Last night I had some friends over. We haven't sat and spoken like men in a while. It was Miguel Pastor and all. Miguel leave him after 12. Not time really there?
What time?
After 3 this morning.
But you tell me all the line, man, later why me ain't coming on.
Really there?
Anyway, go ahead.
And that was one of the
Yeah, you set me up.
that was one of the conversations. Like,
Yeah.
how was it so easy for us in our youth, at least for me, to woman down the place so well?
You didn't know.
Not just we didn't know, but we also wasn't seeing
Exactly.
that black love that we see in here, this man and this woman, these people we know.
Yeah.
We were told that we were dysfunctional, that we were innately dysfunctional, that it wasn't expected of us and our communities again.
True.
You know, and even if it was operating in our communities, it wasn't something that was held up as the thing that was aspirational.
Exactly.
It wasn't held up as being aspirational. And I mean, struggle love is also not a thing. And that's
Yeah, cut that shut off.
Stop it. So there might have been people who lasted a really long time, but it's because it's plenty hurry hand, it's plenty horn, but they married 25 years though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the
25
deal
years,
and end all.
and the woman is subjected to the worst of the worst. You understand? So that was also happening. But we have so much to unpack as a society and as a community in terms of how we raise our children to not repeat our traumas.
Yeah.
And that means we have to work on healing.
Yeah.
The ongoing, because you don't just heal, okay, I'm healed and that's it. It's ongoing.
I say
one of my friends, before you finish, one of my friends tell me this week here, when I said to them, I say, the fact that you could tell me all our thing is bad tells me that you're not healed. Right? Because I, in my humanness, cannot look at all women and say, all women are. Based on my experience with a few, one or two. Right? And it's not for me being overly, what is called it? Not pessimistic.
Optimistic.
Optimistic. Right? But it is being real. You understand? I understand that there is somebody out there. If you are single and you really think that you want happiness or whatever, there's somebody there for you.
Work on yourself in the
Work on
meantime.
Oh, Jesus.
Do your work in the meantime.
You see that gaslighting word?
Do your work in the meantime, and the universe will align
They will
itself.
provide, yes. The
The
universe
universe will align
provide.
itself. And if nobody come in, it's because you're not ready.
You're not ready. And people don't want to hear that.
Simple.
You understand?
Right?
Yeah.
And people get very antsy when you paint with a broad brush.
Yeah.
Like, I know mankind is getting their feels when women say all men, particularly when we're talking about violence in the space.
Yeah.
But we say all men because it's enough.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's enough.
It's a lot.
It's enough that women are dying at disproportionate rates in this space.
Yeah.
Right? And the all men has to do with the fact that there aren't enough like y'all holding mankind accountable.
Yeah.
That's what we mean when we say all men.
Yeah.
It have to be all men holding all men accountable.
Yeah.
That's what we mean when we say that. You
Yeah.
understand? Because there's so many times when entire communities know. Let's even put you know, gender aside for a moment. The whole community knows what's happening.
Yeah.
And everybody is turning a blind eye until a family becomes a statistic.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean when I say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
right.
Mendoza now. Based on what you're saying about the people in your inbox after the event happened, you say they just act like it have a designated group of protesters in the country.
Yes.
And they can't start their own protest.
Please.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Million thanks.
Based on our conversations, I hope we can have you back.
Yeah.
Especially.
I was nervous as hell. Because as I started off by telling you, I don't know. From what I see and what I read, I know you're bad. Right? But I just came tonight because I say, you know what, let me just, however the conversation go, we'll go with it. Because that's what's happened to it. Plenty time we say we come and we have a topic.
Yeah.
Hey, line it up, bang. Put it in the caption. And when we start to talk,
something
we ain't
else.
talk.
That's why I came with this today, because I know that we could have gone all over based on some of the, you know. So as I say, we appreciate that you was here.
Yes.
Very good to have you back again. All area and actually in everything that you're doing that is for positive results.
Bless up,
is on the road.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I like to finish off by saying to people, love is an action word. You can't tell somebody you love them and then show it.
Yeah.
Support is an action word. Because just as you say, as I always tell them, you can't tell me you like what I'm doing, but you never buy nothing from it.
No.
Right? And all the alcohol, boy, we watching these video clips, all the let we be safe on the road, let we smarter than not on the road now. Don't drink and drive, don't drive tired. All they come on now, man.
Please.
And black men, stop killing other black men.
Thanks.
For the idiots and them that asked me this years ago, I ain't tell black men to kill nobody else. I just say black men, let us stop killing other black men. Yeah?
Full stop.
Start there.